Jujutsu Kaisen. All right.
Oh boy. Jujutsu Kaisen. Boy, do you even have to ask?
The champ is here.
You can wait till I finish the review.
Yeah.
But you ain't even gotta ask, nigga.
Yeah.
Right? Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 205, Stars and Oil. I actually did not read the name, the title of the chapter when I first read this. But it was by Gigi Akutame.
That's true.
It was by him. Last time we missed it for
last week it was off.
200th episode. We did miss them last week. However, in the previous chapter, Big Bro could you help me?
Choso.
Big Bro Choso worked as hard as he could to finally get Geto to reveal at least something about one of his
curse techniques.
I guess exclusive curse tech. Well, yeah, curse techniques, but one of his exclusive ones. You know, not just some type of not Uzumaki or the cursed monsters he summons. Anyway, he right when he got him to show some information. We had what's her name? Tsukumo?
Yuki Tsukumo, yeah.
Yeah, Yuki pull up to save the day with her little creature. And we're finally going to get to see her fight. Yeah, okay. So we start, the chapter begins with your boy Choso finally bowing out because he has had enough. You know?
He's had enough!
He got fucked up pretty bad.
Yeah.
So, he deserved the rest. You know, like when your Pokemon faints.
Yeah. He's blacked out. Choso has blacked out.
Yeah. He fainted. So, I like the barrier effect too. I think that's really cool. Reminds me of like a video game or something.
Yeah.
Like they're in a virtual world, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, as he bows out the fight, Yuki says that she likes the rough type. I thought that, giving him some props. And then she says, "You soft nigga on the other." I'll have to beat into shape, yo. So you see how arm gets so veiny and ripped. I already knew what time it was. I was like, yeah, someone's about to get punched in the face. It's only a matter. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when, right? So your boy Kenjaku starts to, I guess, suss out what she may be capable of because he doesn't really know her curse technique. He says that like the headquarters and most of the top sorcerers like keep a tight lid, but what's really the case is that majority of them really don't even know what it is in the first place. Yeah. So, big secret there. So he says, all right, I don't know what you're working with, so I'm just going to keep you at a distance and summon one of these Buku Giga monsters from Asia.
Yeah.
It's funny because she says, I bet that cursed spirit isn't from around here. And, maybe there's some type of cultural significance with this creature. It was lost on me.
Yeah.
That could have been a Japanese thing. Whatever. Anyway, so Yuki's like, bet. She tells her little monster Garuda to turn to basically ball up. And she summons she grits her teeth really hard. I like that shit. Yeah, you can tell, like you can see how much fucking force she's about to put.
She's kicking the shit out of this fucking thing.
Yeah, kick the shit out of her fucking monster ball. And it just tore this monster apart that came from Asia. Which part I don't know.
Yeah, it came all the way from a different part of Asia.
All the way from a different part of Asia. Destroyed it. Kenjaku just doesn't understand what happens. But he doesn't really have much time to think about it because Yuki pulls up and says, I'm about to show you what I'm working with. And she hits him, punches him right in the face, just like I said. It only took 9 pages.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad. All right. So, and she basically sends him to the next stage.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, yeah. Go on, Josh.
Like, if this was Smash Bros, he would have lost 2 stacks, essentially. That's,
Yeah.
I'm not saying Kumadori distant. Pretty,
Yeah, pretty far, though.
Yeah, this is nice. I'm gonna remember this one. So he even comments how like, oh damn, he sent me flying until a breach appeared in the circular definition of the empty bag. Yeah, whatever the fuck that means. He raises his
Yo.
broken hands up.
Yeah,
He's just like,
you remember that thing from SpongeBob where he cracked his knuckles and all he sees is the
yeah,
hands like that?
yeah, that's exactly what that reminds me of. And you know, no big deal to him
He's like,
because oh, my arms are broke. That's
ouch.
crazy. Oh, I forgot to mention that she says that her ability has something to do with mass. So he says it's a concept that targets a curse technique. Mass so overwhelming it surpasses anything inside and outside. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm still not 100% sure what that really means, but I feel like he's gonna elaborate it a little bit more as the fight continues. Anyway, we get some conjecture.
No. Well, a little bit.
Some
Technically conjecture. Because he's theorizing about what her powers are specifically, because all she tells him is mass.
Ah, that's conjecture, right? But Yuki starts literally saying what her technique is. She says, she says, I give myself virtual mass and call it Star Rage. Nice. And my technique turned the Shikigami Garuda, the little snake guy with her, into a cursed tool. It's Star Rage's only target besides me. I don't believe that. I don't trust that. I'm gonna keep that in the back of my mind. You guys should too.
I do.
Anyway. So he says, yeah, I suspect that the increased mass doesn't affect the sorcerer, but her speed ain't decreasing. All right. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure what her ability entails, but we could talk about it at the end of the chapter.
Yeah.
Now she starts speculating what Kenjaku's ability, what at least one of his abilities might be, right? And so we go back to when he deflected Choso's like those blood bombs, and it looks like they all like got sent down, like it was rain or something like that. And she is speculating that it was gravity, which I mean, her reasoning was pretty solid in my opinion. You know, she could like based on how visually you could see they didn't go anywhere else but right below like his feet, and he didn't like. It's not that he moved so fast that he was able to hit each of them because they wouldn't have all perfectly went down. Really good yeah, and he wasn't using idle transfiguration obviously, so
obviously,
yeah. Also no, she also makes this was in my opinion the best point, which was that, you know, it could have been like some cursed monsters technique, but he could only use them once, like, you know what I'm saying, and once they use, you know, it's gone after that, so it's probably not worth, you know, he probably wouldn't just use like some one-off technique just to deflect an attack when he has healing properties. It's not worth the reward isn't worth the risk. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to take that risk necessarily. So he decided to use this curse technique. And I get, you know, so, you know, he starts speaking about how, you know, he may even have a fourth technique, and Kenjaku's thinking that, you know, she may have like something really strong in her fucking domain expansion. I mean, I could read this word for word, but that's essentially the point. They're both annoyed at the prospect of each other's abilities because there's a lot we don't know yet either as readers. Anyway, we get more thoughts from Yuki, and she says how the plan was to try to get him to use domain expansion first, and I guess apparently, you know, it'll be difficult for him to use his base curse techniques. I don't know how valid that is. I don't
you can't use your
like
you can't use your like curse technique within a domain. It's like a separate thing. Or at least it's like a lot though? It's like a lot harder to use your curse technique while also being in a domain.
As within someone else's domain, but what about within your own?
No, within his own domain, because the domain itself is already an attack. So to layer on like
right.
technique.
Yeah. Okay, now that makes a lot more sense. Which is why they wanted to force him to get his domain up, so that they could just deal with that in of itself.
Right.
And that even if she ends up in that situation, she has an advantage in Garuda, which I don't think it was explained before. I guess we'll figure that out. I think it's something about his special ability as a cursed monster. Anyway, Yeah, so that's the plan. She's gonna wear him down while he's in his domain and weaken him. And Kenjaku's like, you know what? I thought about this. We're both confused and being playing real careful around our own techniques. But you ain't open your domain, so that's telling me you ain't really confident if we had to go like domain versus domain. So he immediately makes that decision to go on the offensive, using domain expansion. And Yuki calls out to Tenjin. So maybe they had some plan to intercept or weaken his domain, because this is the end of the chapter, but I'll give that final thought. Perhaps that's why they wanted him to get the domain open, because normally I would imagine you don't want to face someone's domain on purpose, because that's their strongest attack. So yeah, I'm sure they have some type of plan that can interfere with his domain. Anyway, Christian Espinal, or should I say Brian? What was your thoughts? Whoever's first. I forget the order.
This is RGC for me.
Oh, in case it wasn't clear before, it's for me as well.
It's not for me, but I'll give
it.
I'll give it to. It's regular RGC.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. All right, I know what won then, and it deserved it.
This was a pretty good chapter when it comes to breaking down a fight and having like a super interesting matchup. I thought it was pretty wild that Kenjaku brought out his domain expansion pretty much right away at the beginning of at this fight. I like this girl a lot. She reminds me of Tsunade a little bit, I think she's like, I think that's the closest comparison I can make for her, just because she kind of like resembles her in the way that she carries herself and the way that she fights. It was pretty interesting. I really do enjoy the way that she kind of handles things too. She kind of fights with like an understanding of like the opponent she's up against, or not the opponent she's up against, but she has like a good gauge on how to fight people with curse techniques. And she has like a really strong understanding of what makes her strong. And I think that's what makes this fun, because it's like two people who know what the fuck they're doing, and they're both kind of taking each other super seriously too. So, and always Geto, or whatever his name is always interesting to watch fight, just because you don't really know what you're gonna get with him yet. We don't know much about him. So the more we get to see him fight and stuff like that, the better understanding we get of, oh shit, this dude means business. I don't think he's gonna go down this arc, and obviously because he's the main villain, but I wonder how they're gonna get through this fine, because he's still extremely powerful. I doubt that she's gonna win this fight, but I don't know how they're gonna get through this without somebody dying. Somebody is going to end up dying.
I think they're playing defense. I think that it's not about beating him. It's about protecting Tenjin for maybe a certain amount of time. I'm not really clear on that, on how they're going to go about it or what the details is, but I don't think it's about beating Kenjaku. Because like you said, he's not going down right here. I mean, if Yuki did it, that'd be crazy. Anything. But yeah, it's just a different, like I said, they playing defense.
Yeah, but those are my thoughts. It's a really fun watch.
Yeah,
I'm really excited to see what happens next chapter.
Yeah, this was very, very nearly my RGC, and honestly, I considered changing my mind while we were talking about it, but I just stick to my guns. I feel like the chapter I chose really earned it in my book, but this was so good. I mean, I at risk of taking something away from Hunter x Hunter, I would like to.
I know it.
No,
Yeah.
well, but at least at risk of taking away from Hunter x Hunter, I feel like Gege Akutami has built on like the shoulders of what Hunter x Hunter laid out. With in terms of like a power system that is like more cerebral than just like, you know, you get up and you have a kicky punchy. You know, having like
Very technical.
having like a game-esque battle system. Whereas like I think uh Togashi, and in all his greatness, I mean, like I say this, I don't want to take away anything from Hunter x Hunter because I love the Nen system a lot. I think it's a great power system and one of the best. But
Yeah.
there is something to be said about Akutami's ability to take a similar concept and kind of like distill it and make it a little more simpler, so you're like not so bogged down by so many details. Um, it is just like a matter of just simplifying it a little bit. Sometimes simple is better, you know, and it's still intricate in its own ways. You know, there is like rules that you have to follow with this power system, but I feel a lot less intimidated when I read Jujutsu Kaisen versus Hunter x Hunter in that regard. I only
Yeah.
say that because Akutami, I think, draws a lot of inspiration from Hunter x Hunter as a mangaka. So uh, I think he's done pretty great with the power system he has. I love Yuki as a character. She's just so fun to read. Always like confident, just a fucking. She knows what she is. She knows like she's one of the best.
Mhm.
But you know, she's not like so strong that she's just like over it. You know what I mean? It's very easy to make those characters that are just like so strong and they're just like, I guess, you know, like overly confident. She's
Yes.
also trying to like figure out Kenjaku. She knows Kenjaku's no joke, and she's trying to like figure out his attack as well. So I like that a lot. This has been a lot of fun. Watching her punch Kenjaku so hard that his arms are noodles broken.
Right.
Yeah.
She broke through his fucking guard, man, and right to his face. Say, get them noodles, get them spaghetti arms out my fucking face,
Yeah.
and hold this to your jaw.
Yeah. I guess I
That was
wanted
nice.
I wanted to come back to what your attempt to explain Yuki's technique a little easier.
Thank you.
I
Thank
think
you.
I think what it is that like the reason it is kind of hard to understand is because it's broken. Uh it's basically a power that has all of the benefits but none of the backsides, as long as I understand, where she has the ability to increase the mass of her attacks. Like her punches are so fucking heavy that they're able to just snap through his bones like that, but it doesn't affect her speed at all. So
Oh.
it's a virtual mass. It's like a hypothetical mass to a degree. She adds like a fake amount of mass to her body without like affecting her ability to move at all.
It is broken.
Yeah. So
And I wanted to say something about. Well, go ahead.
oh no, yeah. Go for it, Josh.
Yeah, it's just it's not just me taking my turn on them, but like, you know, when you look at Hunter x Hunter, at one point I thought to myself, damn, like I like Nen, but it does seem really like all over the place. But then there was something said as I was, you know, like re-catching up to the beginning. I mean, to the, you know, to what's current. And someone says that Nen is all about risk and reward.
Mhm.
And that's generally like how you have to look at everybody's ability. It's so much variety, and uniqueness and niches, but everything comes down to risk and reward. You know, if you have a really powerful Nen technique, chances are there's one hell of a fucking drawback to it. You
Mhm.
know, or it's a very particular situation you can use it in. You know, he's usually pretty consistent about that. Especially with the core characters. Here in here in Jujutsu Kaisen, you don't really. It's not like he ever specified that was the case. But when you see someone like Yuki, right, with this, you're right. It is broken because there doesn't need to be a drawback. That's just how her shit works, as far as we know.
Yeah. There's probably
You
going to be
know?
more revealed, but
Yeah. I wonder. Maybe it saps her lifespan. Maybe every punch takes 10 years of her life.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's also the technique of her little monster there, her little Rayquaza.
Right.
So, I mean, honestly, obviously, very excited. Glad that it's not off next week as well.
Right.
But yeah, I don't have many other thoughts. I thought this chapter was great as usual. Whenever Jujutsu Kaisen has like a fucking battle chapter. It's 9 times out of 10 RGC
Oh, they're
material.
introducing a new character or something like that in their concept.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I mean, shout out to this 2-page spread of the domain expansion. I mean,
Oh right.
why don't y'all take a second to look at the base, the eyes and the hand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I live for this. I live for this.
Yeah, it's
Look at that. These torsos on it. Why? This guy's fucking mind is crazy.
Yeah, have we seen his domain before? I don't know if we have.
I don't remember. Brian, you mind?
I've just started a Jujutsu Kaisen read through. I'm like on the first volume, so my memory's about to get refreshed.
Psychopath, man.
What do you mean? Jujutsu Kaisen's great.
You just been on a tear.
I've been so. I mean, I'm on trains a lot, so I just read on the train.
Fair,
but
bro, you work 2 stops away from your house. What you mean?
No, I mean I go other places.
You go out and do other things? Let me find out.
Yes.
Why are you so surprised by this?
Yes, I do.
You go out and do shit?
Yeah, look at that.
Wait, you're telling
thanks
me
for the invite, bro.
that you do things outside of your home?
You do things?
Yeah. Turns out I don't just sit here and edit podcasts all day. Although I could if I wanted to. I mean, if I'm able to, I could do that all day. But yeah, I mean, I don't remember if we've seen it. I'm gonna get a refresher soon, I hope, but I don't think we have at this point. Because I think the whole point is that nobody knows what his domain is. So I'm excited to see what that's about. All right, no, nothing else for me. I don't know if you guys have any rebuttals or nothing.
Nah, not really. I love the chapter. RGC.
All right. Well,
I will say this: the chapter that if I had probably thought about it a little bit more, the other series could have won it too. I was very touched by the chapter, but we'll get to it.